Hi there, Hayley, and welcome to your questioning today. So, you're at a school barbecue and someone asks you, what do you do? What do you say?
Look, I just start with I teach kids to code, and that kind of just sits with them for a moment and they're thinking, okay, what does that mean? And it's probably not even the truth because I'm not the one teaching the kids to code, but it's a good intro. And then I go on to say, I am a co-founder of a business that teaches kids around Australia to code. And if they're still interested, then I'll carry on a long-winded 5-minute spiel. But basically it comes down to, I have a business that goes into schools every school holidays, and we'll have 5,000 kids around Australia at 130 locations. We'll have 600 casual staff who come in and teach those kids to code, do animation camps, YouTube or DJ camps. And together, my little head office and I really managed to produce a really awesome experience for kids around Australia. And that is a pretty cool thing to be able to say, and I'm really actually proud to be able to do that at barbecues or wherever I am meeting parents at the park. And, they always want to know more. And I could talk about Code Camp forever.
Do you have like flyers in your pocket that you then go, and here you go, sign your kids up?
Well, we're pretty strong in our marketing, so they'll see the buses and I've got flyers everywhere, but I've always got something, don't worry. There's a few business cards floating around. You can pretty sure that they'll get a Facebook ad targeted at them next week. So we're constantly trying to spread that message that we're around and this is something that your child should be doing these holidays.
So way back when all of this was being started, how did you go about identifying the niche in the market?
It was a situation where some kids came to my co-founder and said, can you teach us to code? He was a coder and he thought, well, I don't know, can I? And so he had a chat with me and we thought, you know what, why not? We'll give it a go. So we went to a girls' school, 8 girls in a classroom, which is a great place to start. And they had a really good time for 3 days. And we thought, oh yeah, that wasn't too hard. I think we could do that again. So the next holidays we had 3 schools and then we just kept on growing. It did get a lot harder, but it also was really rewarding and the kids really liked it. And it's funny to look back at how we did it. It was very basic and we were using other people's products, teaching kids to code, and they were targeted at adults. So it was very glitchy. If a kid wanted to get their game at the end of camp, it would take us 6 weeks, and we had laptops just spread out, along the office, and we'd be manually pressing buttons to download games. And compared to the experience that kids will get now when they come to Code Camp, before they walk out that school gate, their game has already been emailed to their parents, and we're on to the next camp. It's been a whole journey to get there, but it was so basic at the start, but the kids loved it. So they thought, yeah, this is something that we should keep doing. And we were real innovators really in the space. There wasn't anyone doing it. So we were really proud.
It's never easy to be first to market, but someone has to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you personally now, do you identify as a woman in tech, even now?
Yeah, look, I do, because I am a woman in tech, but I haven't come from that background. So, I'm not preaching that I'm the tech genius that some people I hire are, but I am a woman in tech, but I've come from a different path. I did marketing at university. I had a whole heap of different jobs before Code Camp started. So I think I probably am more of an entrepreneur than a powerful woman in tech, but I am also taking that and grabbing it because that's going to help me and help my purpose, which is my business and the kids that we're helping to get involved in the future.
So when you were back at school, what kind of skills do you think actually helped prepare you for where you are right now? Or did they?
Yeah, it's a great question. Look, I think on reflection, what I've realised is that I realised early on that you didn't have to be the smartest in the room to get somewhere, and that started at school. So I always felt quite confident in putting my hand up and asking a question or listening to someone else's answer and then kind of honing my own response to something that was happening. I also understood that even though maybe school was a little bit hard for me academically, that I could still get through and I could still be, a leader in the classroom, a leader at the school, by being confident and being proud of my own opinion and not having to just follow everyone else. So I really think that's helped me in my whole career, because I'm sitting in these rooms and meetings and conferences, a lot of really smart people, and it might seem daunting, but I kind of look around the room and I realise that I've got other strengths that those people might not have. So I really remind myself of that daily. You may not feel like you belong here, but you have the resilience and you are a strong person, Hayley. You can get through this part, and that's really just kind of led my whole career.
So some people have suggested that it's less about academic qualifications into the future and more now about things like skills and aptitude. Would you agree?
I see that all the time. I deal with a lot of, like I just mentioned, a lot of really smart people who might be coders or, tech specialists developing our products for us. And while they're amazing at the creativity and the tech side of it, maybe their communication skills aren't, as good as they could be. So often I'll have to sit in a room and kind of just navigate both sides so that we can get an outcome we need, or I'll bring in the perspective of our customer as the normal person in the situation of, this is who we're trying to relate with, let's do it this way. And everyone's like, oh yeah, great idea. So it's it's super important that my communication skills are there to lead the team that we work with every day at Code Camp.
So when you see the kids coming into the camp now, are you seeing many differences in terms of gender or confidence, or are you seeing that the more academically gifted children are the ones that are coming, but we're missing some of those other kids that have great broad skill sets, but may not be particularly excellent at maths, for example?
I think when we first started out, it was really, most kids who came were, quite academic, and they were there to progress their skills. And then as we created this business and grew it, we really tried to tap into the whole market, obviously. And not everyone is academic, not everyone wants to learn to code because they may not understand what it actually is. So we really tried to flip everything to talk about how creative technology can be. So we do get quite a broad range of kids coming to camp. And that is the best part of Code Camp now, coming into a classroom and seeing every type of child there, from really smart kids to kids with learning, difficulties. And there's something for all of them there. If everyone can walk away, 30 kids can walk away at the end of the day and have a smile, then we are stoked. It's been a great day because we've managed to reach out to every one of those kids and give them something that they needed from that day at Code Camp.
So are you seeing much of a gender difference when it comes to Code Camp, and what kind of levers are you starting to recognise that you might need to pull to get more girls involved in Code Camp?
It was really heavily skewed to males at the start, and look, we are still skewing more male, but we are trying really hard to reach every girl that we can. And we're doing that by offering new camps. We're changing our marketing to talk about the creativity and how much fun it is with, tapping into design elements. We've got our new camps of YouTube, DJ and animation, and they were all to try and get girls excited about learning tech and not kind of overwhelming them with the coding side. Now, I don't think the young girls are overwhelmed. I think the parents are overwhelmed, and we're communicating with parents. They are the bookers of the camp. So we need to talk to the mums and dads and tell them why it's fun and why their daughter's going to like it. Our marketing has girls on it. It's the reason that now I try and put myself out there a bit more, because it's that old adage of you can't be what you can't see.
Well, one of the things we know about the future of cybersecurity roles, for example, is that a lot of the training and a lot of the responses are actually team-based, project-based work. So what are you doing at Code Camp to bring some of those team-based skills into the curriculum you've got?
Girls especially do love teamwork. So at a few of the camps, they work in pairs or small groups to build and work out a problem and solve it. We've got an entrepreneurial camp, and the girls get given a problem, and as a team, they come out with a product that they can, use to solve the issue at hand. And the girls do really well at that. So we're constantly looking at the way we deliver our programs so that we can really hone in on what girls like doing. And the teamwork is one of those things. So it's a journey. Coding at the start for us has been every child builds their own game. Now it's evolved into, if you want to work with a partner, you can. And then it's come to YouTube Camp, where as a team they will film their videos and then edit it together or separately with the same footage. So we do try and collaborate a lot because the girls enjoy it. But I guess it is an area that we could look at to do kind of more classroom-based when we're going into a school, and maybe more incursion-based than at camps. Look at how we can offer that to the schools so that the girls are coming out with a full product at the end, which is what we do at Entrepreneurial Camp.
So what kind of numbers are you sitting at the moment in terms of girls and boys across your project?
Look, it depends on the camp, but a good week would be 60-40. That is a good week, but that's where we feel comfortable at the moment. We won't feel awesome until we're at 50-50, but everything we do is to try and get that up.
So as mothers in tech, how much do you think we need to really show girls that they can choose everything? They can have a family life, they can have a role in STEM.
What I try and do in that scenario is I try and let my kids know that we're not going to be the best at everything. So I'm quite good at going, I'll prioritise the kids' needs. So I'm not at every school event. I'm not at every drop-off or pick-up, but I am at the key things. And I think that's what I do at business as well. I'm not in every meeting. You won't always see me in the office. So I'm trying to prioritise the parts that are most important, and it's resilience. And I feel like me not being there all the time for my kids, I'm there a lot, don't get me wrong, but I'm teaching them resilience. You know what? You're not always going to have someone there picking you up. Sorry, today was pyjama day at school. You didn't get new pyjamas? You're having a meltdown? Oh, well, like,
First world problems.
yeah, this is life. Welcome.
Yeah.
So that's what I try and do. I'm trying to build these kids who are strong. They're strong women, and if things don't go their way, oh, well, we'll work out a new way. That's what I'm trying to build with my girls.
No woman in tech is an island. Who have been the key people for you to get where you are today?
I guess in this career and in this path that I'm taking now with Code Camp, it has really been my co-founders. So they have supported me, and especially, one of them was my best friend, going into this business, and he has built me up. Every time I felt nervous or worried about, a decision that I was making, he just constantly gave me the support. Back yourself. Yep, good. You do it. I don't know. You know the answer. Even if I thought he was the one who would know the answer, he'd just flick it back to me. And after a few times of that, I was like, you know what? Don't need your advice anymore. I got this. It's really been, I guess my business partners. And then it's also been my team at work. I've got a lot of male staff who work for me, and they laugh at silly things I say all the time, but sometimes they are funny, and I don't mind because they're there helping me. They would never let me fall. They've always got me. So I'm very lucky with my team. And then in my general life, like I said earlier, I've got a really supportive family and a big friend group, and they've all been confident in me from the start. They give me way too many compliments.
Australia is known globally as a leader in the ethical conversations around technology, and entrepreneurship obviously plays a huge role in that. When we look at our position in the Asia Pac going forwards, places like China are teaching entrepreneurial skills to preschoolers. We're talking 3-year-olds being taught how to be entrepreneurs. In Australia, we don't really get to that till about 12 or 13. So what role do you see yourself as a woman in tech and also Code Camp as having in making sure that Australia is still at the forefront of conversations around digital technologies?
Well, we have a huge role. It is up to us to make sure that these kids are enjoying their holiday programs with us, so that they want to go back to school and learn about these really important topics. It's up to us, and I take this really seriously as a business owner, that we need to make sure that the kids understand how important it is to learn these skills now. We want the parents to understand, so we're constantly communicating with parents on why and the hows that this can happen within their schooling. So we work with the schools also, incursions and curriculum-based learning, to really encourage teachers and parents to get onto it now, not just at holiday camps, but let's make this a core thing that happens at school. And it really takes a full community change in mindset to get this going. It's not just kind of something that I can do, but I will try my best to make sure that it happens.
What are your proudest moments with Code Camp? I mean, look at this journey that you've been on.
Oh my gosh, there has been so many proud moments. We've had a lot of wins. We've also had a few fails, but the wins have been awesome. And I think one of the really cool things was building our own platform, Code Camp World. Kids can learn drag and drop coding all the way through to JavaScript on our platform, which allows us to run online camps, and it means that we can take coding to communities that we couldn't actually physically get to. And there's a lot of products on the shelves that teach kids to code, but we really took all our experience of having taught so many kids to code using these off-the-shelf products and took the best bits from everything to build our own platform, and it was all built by women, which was amazing. We had 3 full-time female developers who worked on it, and it is a really great product that we're super proud of.
Have there been any moments that have made you feel a bit sad or that have really shocked you when you've been dealing with Code Camp?
Yeah, look, it has been a journey. There's been, a few moments where I thought, wow, can we really change the community mindset on this? How hard is it? We've tried really hard to get more girls involved, and it doesn't matter really what we do. Sometimes the message just doesn't get through. I've been at camps where I've had 2 kids, brothers and sisters standing next to each other, and I've let the dad know that the girl needs to progress to the next level of coding, and he's point blank in front of the son and daughter told me that no, the son needs to progress and the daughter should stay where she is because she's not interested, but the son is. And I just thought, no, but this girl has a real gift at this. She needs to move up. And look, the boy's giving me a red hot go, but he needs to stay where he is. And I'm dealing with conversations like that thinking, what kind of damage is that going to have on your child if you're not supporting her to give it a best shot now? We really need that narrative to change. And, that doesn't happen all the time, of course, but I do feel like it is a bit of a mindset where parents think the boys are going to be better at it or enjoy it more, and they're kind of holding girls back inadvertently. Even really, really smart women. And, you know, I do deal with a lot of smart women, and they don't even realise sometimes that they're holding their daughter back. And it's not till I point it out that they're kind of shocked with themselves, I think. So, you know, that's a really important thing that we're always trying to communicate with parents. The messaging for us is key.
Who's actually responsible for getting girls into tech? Is it the schools? Is it the government? Is it people like you and me?
I think we all need to take it on. No one person can change this. And look, I don't even think that we can do as much as, you know, I want to be done, but I will just keep on going until we kind of get the message out there. It needs to be the government, it needs to be the schools, it needs to be the parents. And look, the parents need to take a big chunk of responsibility here. This is their child. They need to educate themselves. And look, and I need to keep on educating myself. That's not just a call out to other parents, that's for all of us. We can always be doing better. So just keep on trying, and every little, you know, bit of knowledge you get helps you make a good decision for your child.
If there's a 12-year-old girl watching this video right now and she's already got it in her head that maybe she's no good at maths or maybe she doesn't like physics, what would you say to her?
Well, the funny thing is, the first thing is I don't even know if a girl thinks that. That's probably what the parent has already implemented in that child's way of thinking. So no child just kind of puts STEM and maths together. I think that they've been given that narrative by a parent. Oh, darling, you don't want to do STEM. You're not great at maths. So that whole conversation needs to stop right there. But if I did have a kid who'd kind of already been fed that, I guess my number one thing would be, you've got to try it. You've got to start. It's not all about maths and science. It's so much more. It's creative. It's problem solving. Do you like, you know, sorting out situations at school with your friends? That's problem solving. This is problem solving. So let's just start right at the very beginning. Take everything that you've already thought about STEM and let's throw that out and let's just start. Let's go to coding camp, or let's do an online course with someone, and let's just have a little try and see if you enjoy the creative side of it. And if you do, then you can think about the next step. Let's not get overwhelmed with the whole idea of the tech industry is kind of where I'd start. And then I'd start talking about how cool it is to work in the tech industry and all the amazing things you can create once you're in it. And there's so many things that, you know, that would benefit a female going into the industry.